Hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to IFYL. I'm so glad you decided to join me at just 10 minutes to 11 here on July 7th, 2024, which is a Sunday evening, as we're just about ready to kick off a brand new week tomorrow, July 8th, Monday, 2024. Welcome, everyone. We have a great master topic, as you guys know, but in case you didn't know, I'll share that with you in just a second. And I do want to thank you for being here, whether you're here with me at 10:50 p.m., 10:50 a.m., 3 a.m., 3 p.m., or maybe even 4 a.m. or 4 p.m. Doesn't really matter. Thank you so much for being with me. It is great to have you with me. So thank you very, very much, everyone. Welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. It's great to have you here with me. And let's get right into what the master topic of the week is, which is understanding fireworks in our life. And yesterday we talked about what fireworks are, from the fact that they're explosive and where fireworks come from and all that kind of stuff. We talked about that. But today we're going to talk about a different type of fireworks. Explosive workplace moments, handling JUV fireworks. We're on series 3, show 28, episode number 2. So the first type of firework that I want to talk about is when you're in a workplace environment and the client gets upset. So how do you diffuse that? That's what I want to talk about. Well, the first thing you want to do is you want to listen to them. Okay. It's very important. You want to listen to them. And you want to give them a chance so they can express what's wrong. If you try to rebuttal into them, they're going to get angry at you. And if you're not able to do something for them, you say, look, I'm not able to help you. Let me get someone else that can help you. I understand you're frustrated and I want to do everything I can. I just don't have the authority to do anything, so I need to get someone higher than me that can help you. They'll be very pleased that you did that. One thing you can do when you're talking with somebody and they're yelling like at you a lot, if you ask them to please stop yelling, that's not going to make them really happy. So if they keep yelling and yelling at you, what you can do is you can stay at their level without yelling. Like, I understand you're really frustrated, and I get that you want me to help you right away, and I want to do everything I can. And if you just give me a moment, I will do my very, very best to work with you. And if I can't help you, I'll make sure that I get someone that can help you that's higher than my authority. See how I did that? I started high, and I came low. So I didn't yell with them, but I basically matched their voice, like with their tonality, and then I brought it down slowly. So that works really, really well. And so using these techniques are important. Definitely making sure that you are showing eye contact to them. You're not fidgeting with your phone. You're not doing something else. You're giving that customer, that client, undivided attention. You're hearing the story. You're writing it down. You're taking notes so that when you have to dispel to someone else, the story is going to be very clear. Maybe a boss is upset, right? I'm sure that never happens. So same kind of scenario you can use. The boss is usually unhappy because of a couple of reasons. One, maybe there's a client that's unhappy. Maybe they're losing money because something's not selling. Or maybe they're upset because you didn't do it the way they wanted it to be done. Or maybe the fact they're upset is because a policy was broken. Okay? It could be a safety issue. It could be a lot of things. So when we understand that explosions happen in the workplace with people, those are your clients, they get upset, and your boss, of course, management gets upset too. That can happen sometimes. So keeping everyone cool and composed with the higher ups on the edge is not always the easiest thing to do. It is important to document everything and making sure that, this mountain doesn't turn into a molehill, right? I mean, the worst thing you could have at a job site is a client that's unhappy or a boss that's unhappy or management that's unhappy. And so, like I said to you, you can start with that higher thing. So you never want to yell or scream or curse or anything like that. But when somebody's doing that to you and they don't stop within a few seconds, what I generally will do is when it's my turn to talk, I understand you're really frustrated. I get what's going on. I know you're upset. I know you're angry. And I want to listen to you. And I want to do everything I can. And if you just give me a moment so we can work things out, I assure you that I will do everything I can to make sure the team will do everything we can to be the most profitable. See how I did that? I kind of like stepped it down. And you didn't even realize what I was doing So it works. Now, I want to talk about a little more about the various forms because the various forms, I think, are things that a lot of people, they get confused with. And what do I mean by the various forms? So there are different, how can I say, there are different ways that people do things. Okay. And when we think about, the fireworks, right? We think about fireworks in the office. Why do fireworks in the office happen? Well, we talked about some basic reasons, right? But there are some other reasons that I think we need to get into. These can be things that you might not understand, but they're things we have to go into. One could be the fact that somebody is maybe bullying you. It could be an issue that you're doing everything right, but they just want to bully you because they like to be in control. Now, I know that sounds bad, but this is why I said to you, you have to document everything. This is really, really important that you document everything. And so when somebody is really bullying you, that can be a serious problem. And you might say, well, John, I don't have a chance because, they're a lot higher up than I am. Yeah, but that doesn't really matter. What are the fireworks that happen at your office? I mean, can you think of any that have happened maybe recently? You know, it's basically why your office gets upset. We talk about policies, we talk about procedures, but what are the things that can, let's say, make your work environment angry? And a couple things. Could be gossip, could be high turnover rate, could be harassment, could be the way somebody is communicating with you or lack thereof, aggressive behavior, bullying, racist slurs, sexual slurs, things like jokes about gender orientation. That's not appropriate. And so when people do these things, they can be labeled as toxic. And when they are toxic, you know what happens? It spreads onto other people in your organization. So this whole week we're talking about fireworks because what does a firework do? A firework, when you light it, it explodes, right? In our office, when something is there and it's on the edge and we do the wrong thing, it's going to explode. What could happen? Well, you could get fired, right? You could get reprimanded. You could be put on probation. Those are some of the smaller things. Um, you could lose a client. You could lose a bonus, right? These are some of the things that can happen. So when we learn how to diffuse things like the client, the boss, and the management, we can understand now what happens. And thinking about a narcissistic leader who basically is someone that shouldn't be a leader at all, one that's a leader who's a threatener, somebody who uses threatening behavior, maybe you feel unsafe around that person. And that's a big problem. So, what I want to talk about right now are some signs to know that you're in a hostile work environment. I think it's really important to understand this. So, a hostile work environment is a toxic work environment, but one that's really, let's say, kicked up several notches. It's more than having a boss who doesn't listen well or a coworker who's gossipy. That's nothing. It's a hostile work environment. It's a workplace that consistently doles out harassment and discrimination to the point where work becomes intimidating, abuse performance is impacted, and it also could mean that you feel unsafe to go there. Maybe you feel that whatever's going on, like people are, they're getting up on you for whatever reason. That might be happening. And if they're ganging up on you, it could be serious. I think big problem. One that you not realize All right, so StreamYard is having a little bit of challenges here tonight. Sorry about that. So we're talking about this whole thing about explosive workplace environments. And so when a moment happens, it doesn't mean that that's something that should be overlooked. A lot of times because somebody's a CEO or the chief financial officer or they're the president or they're a boss or they're a manager or they're anything higher than you, people think it's okay that they can do whatever they want to do. Like they can come in late, they can dress the way they want to dress. Again, if what they're doing conflicts with the company's policy, like if they're your manager and they work in the same plant as you, well, they, let's say, can't wear shorts, but they think they can. Now, if their boss found out about that, that could be a problem. A lot of times these issues happen because of things that are happening in like a little contained political environment that they kind of control. But if that ever got out to like the boss, that could be a serious problem. So sometimes they think that they're able to do anything they want just because they can. But when you document it and you bring it up the chain, you bring it to HR, human resources, or to someone else, and they always tell you not to do that. But the reason they tell you that is because they know that if you do this and they're found guilty, they could be out of a job. But again, document everything because you can go to your HR person, you can tell them what's going on, and you can do it confidentially and be. The worst thing you want is to have someone that's not going to, let's say, look up for you in the office. Now, I don't mean that they are somebody who's going to make your job easy. I just mean that the people you're working with are going to have a fair environment with you and those around. Because whether it's a man, whether it's a lady, whether it's a kid, there are rules that have to be followed. And if somebody working in that plant or in that office is made to feel uncomfortable, such as if they're harassed or anything like that, that's a very, very serious problem. And, just because you're a management doesn't mean that you get, a free card to do anything you want. Absolutely not. So we have to learn that when these fireworks happen, we can definitely diffuse them, like with clients, with bosses, with management. But a lot of times people get scared when it's with a boss or manager because they feel they have no power. If something is going against your rights, if something is demeaning you as a person, if something is discriminating, such as race, religion, sexual orientation, creed, color, or political party, I got news for you. You are protected. Even if your company says you're not, it could be a very big lawsuit. And trust me, they will change their tune very quickly. That's why I say document everything. There are various forms of this that can happen. Like I said, from the bullying to the harassing to the narcissistic behavior. And that could even be people like there might be nepotism even going on. So there could be a lot of things happening. And so fireworks in the workplace is just one type of firework that I want to talk about, because when we understand fireworks in the workplace, and we know that just like a fuel source that lights a fuse for a firecracker, we know that if somebody has a short fuse and they get lit or something triggers them, which is the same thing as a match to a firework, it's like you immediately set them off like a time bomb. And you're like, well, how does that happen? It happens because maybe the person might not be all upstairs, or maybe the person has a short fuse. Okay. And so it's important that whatever they do does not harm you physically, mentally, or emotionally. That is very, very important. If somebody thinks they can do what they want with you because you work for them, well, they got another thing coming. And a lawsuit will be waiting for them very soon. So I hope this was informative to you guys. And I just want to go back to these points, which we talked about today, which is understanding fireworks in our life. And we decided to talk about explosive workplace moments, handling job fireworks. And these are not the kind that you see pretty, fireworks in the sky. But these are the kinds that can cause people to go home with a tight stomach. They can make people regurgitate their meals. They can make people not sleep well. They can make people irritable when they're working. They can make people afraid of being at their own workplace. When a client gets upset, you listen to the client, right? I gave you some techniques about how to diffuse that. When the boss gets upset, you always should have someone else there. So this way the boss can't say that you did something else. So you always should get someone else to be present. Management, same thing. These take various forms, and I want you to be aware of them, because if you're aware of them, that's half of solving the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It has been an amazing privilege, a pleasure and honor to be with you this fantastic evening. Sorry for the little blip we had, but sometimes StreamYard does that every once in a while, and we lost our live connection. As you know, we are a live show, so we did have a little bit of a blip there. I do apologize. But again, that does happen once in a while, because unfortunately they're not infallible. And even though the internet is good, sometimes there could be an interruption or things like that. And it happens. So I do thank you for being with us. I do thank you for watching all the great content, for going to believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing inspiring creations, and for going to the QR code, which will get you there as well. Have yourself a fantastic evening, everyone. I'll catch you real soon. Be well.